Capacity building. This component is for building capacities of stakeholders and sanitation workers, the Swachh or Sena, members of PRIs, VWSCs, functionaries of BPMU, DWSM, ASHA, Anganwadi workers, SHG members, masons, CSOs, NGOs, etc. The training may be on various approaches of IEC, promoting behavioral change including triggering CAS, IPC and house-to-house communication, etc. Masonry work, plumbing, construction and maintenance of toilets, and for solid and liquid waste management works. Central and state level training institutes, resource centers, key resource centers KRCs, many of which are being centrally empaneled and can be engaged directly by states and districts at predefined rates. District resource centers and empaneled NGOs and CBOs and agencies with experience in capacity building should be engaged for such training. The district Swachhata plan of each district should have details of the annual capacity building action plan covering every GP in the district with identification of the training institute or agency, training components and the intended trainees with definite timelines. The capacity building exercise shall be monitored by district authorities and Swachhata mission of the states. Funding for the capacity building action plan will be from the IEC budget with sharing pattern of expenditure between GOI and state in ratio of 60:40. Construction of individual household latrines. A duly completed household sanitary latrine unit shall comprise of a sanitary substructure that safely confines human feces and eliminates the need for human handling before it is fully decomposed, a superstructure with water facility, and a hand wash unit for cleaning and hand washing. The mission aims to ensure that all rural families have access to safe toilets and therefore safe technology options are an important component of toilet choice. There are various safe sanitation technologies available like the twin pit, septic tank with soak pit, EcoSan, bio toilets amongst others. The ministry encourages the promotion of twin pit technology for most parts of the country. However, states may look to develop other safe technologies as well, and states shall disseminate information about available technologies and their cost to the beneficiary to enable him or her to make an informed choice. Clarification regarding availability of water for toilets. It is desired that facility for water storage, hand washing and cleaning of toilets, if not already there, may be created, strengthened along with construction of a toilet. As sanitation is primarily a behavioral demand driven issue, this includes behavior for hygiene as well. Many households may already have provision for water within the house or nearby places, and it suffices if the person uses the same for toilet purposes, and there remains no need for him to invest in a separate water storage facility such as a tank or wash basin along with constructing a toilet. Prescribing a specific structure leads to supply driven approach, and the user may not use the same, leading to wasteful expenditure. It is therefore clarified that while availability of water for toilet need to be pushed for, the choice of the toilet structure may be left to the beneficiary or community. While GOI provides flexibility to states in choosing the right toilet technology depending on topography, groundwater level, soil conditions, etc., properly constructed twin pit toilets are known to have advantages such as low cost, ease of building, low water consumption, etc. States can also consider the construction of row toilets and complexes for a group of families, especially where it is not possible to construct IHHLS. It should be ensured that the toilets constructed for individual households meet the minimum design specifications to ensure their sustainability. Care shall be taken to ensure that these toilets are not over designed and over constructed. Example, building unnecessarily large pits to keep them affordable and to prevent contamination of drinking water. States have to ensure that such tendencies are restricted through effective communication. Appropriate information has to be provided to the beneficiary regarding the maintenance of the toilets provided. The toilets must have a superstructure acceptable to the beneficiaries, as poor quality of toilets constructed has been one of the main complaints against earlier sanitation programs. Various options for the superstructure should be explored, and information about the options available are to be provided to the beneficiary for him or her to choose from. For optional design specifications for some of the on-site technology of toilets, a handbook on technical options for on-site sanitation issued by the ministry may be referred to. This publication shall be updated from time to time. While selecting eligible households for providing incentive under SBMG, the following order of preference shall be ensured. BPL, APL, SC/ST, persons with disability, widow or old age pensioners, landless laborers with homestead, small farmers, marginal farmers, women headed households. While ensuring the above order of preference, priority may be accorded to cover the households against each category as mentioned above, having pregnant and lactating mothers covered by maternal health programs of central and state governments, including Janani Suraksha Yojana under National Rural Health Mission, and girl children covered by any scheme benefiting the girl child. The incentive amount provided under SBMG to below poverty line BPL identified APL households shall be up to rupees 12,000 for construction of 1 unit of IHHL, and to provide for water availability including storage for hand washing and cleaning of the toilet. The aim of the incentive is not to provide the full cost of the toilet but to facilitate a positive change in behavior for people to undertake construction of toilet on their own. Central share of this incentive for IHHLs from Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin shall be 7,260%, and the state share will be rupees 4,840%. For northeastern states, Jammu and Kashmir and special category states, the central share will be 10,890% and the state share rupees 1,210%. Special category states are those states declared so by the Government of India from time to time with the objective to bring these states on par with the development levels of these other states. In addition to the northeast states including Sikkim, currently Uttarakhand, Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh are also considered as special category states. The beneficiary is to be encouraged to contribute in the construction of his or her IHHL to promote ownership. The beneficiary may also be encouraged to voluntarily surrender his or her incentive. State governments also have the flexibility to provide higher incentive for a household toilet for higher unit cost from sources of other than SBMG. However, this additional funding cannot be from the central share of any other centrally sponsored scheme. States shall have the flexibility to decide on the implementation mechanism to be followed. The construction of household toilets may be undertaken by the individual beneficiaries themselves with support from or through agencies in the village, which is ideal. States may also decide to give the incentive to the individuals or to the communities where the model is adopted to trigger the demand in GPs, blocks, districts or to the Gram Panchayats on the achievement of community objectives. States should also ensure that the quality of toilet is maintained through sample physical verification through its offices. Payment of incentives may be in cash or in the form of construction materials or credit vouchers for such materials. In case of individuals being paid the incentive, if required, states may decide to provide incentives to households in two phases, one at the pre-construction stage and the other on completion of construction and usage. In case cash incentive is provided to the individual, direct beneficiary transfer DBT may be ensured. However, the community or GP incentive, if any, may only be released after the village unit is open defecation free for a significant length of time. Both of these outcomes are to be measured through a robust follow-up monitoring system. Any incentive for IHHL provided to the community or GP, if given, shall be used only for sanitation activities. The ultimate objective is to ensure behavior change and wean people away from open defecation. All houses constructed with the central and or state assistance should invariably have a safe sanitation facility as an integral part. Provision will be separately included in the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin GMAYG for provision of functional toilets for PMAY houses. APL families not covered by the above incentives will be motivated and triggered to take up construction of the household latrines on their own. The IEC activities focusing on behavior change will provide comprehensive coverage to all the families in the GP without exception. APL families facing fund problems may be assisted through the revolving fund as outlined in the guidelines or through low-cost financing from NABARD, banks and financial institutions. Construction of insanitary latrines as defined in the Prohibition of Employment as Manual Scavenger and Rehabilitation Act 2009 at para 2.1e is not permitted in the rural areas. States must ensure complete survey of GPs on priority for presence of any insanitary toilets. The insanitary latrines, if any, should be converted to sanitary latrines, and the sharing pattern for incentive for the targeted beneficiaries shall be identical to that of construction of individual household latrines.